Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining staff, faculty, and students. Thank you for joining this BA Psychology student orientation today. I'm going to record the session so that the students have a chance to kind of listen in if they aren't able to participate. So this is the Psychology BA program, and I would like our Dean, Dr. Lerma, to say a welcome address. Go ahead, Dr. Lerma.
Hi, Yate, and just welcome back to the Diné College, whatever campus you happen to be at. If it's the virtual campus or one of the physical campuses, welcome. I've been working really hard to try and keep this School of Business and Social Science functioning in as healthy a manner as possible. And so far as I know, um, the School of Business and Social Science probably has the highest standard for reopening. And our standard at the moment is we won't have new face-to-face meetings either as a class or as an office meeting until we go 4 weeks without a new COVID-19 case within the Four Sacred Mountains and within the surrounding states. And so I just wanted all the students to understand that we're working really hard to try to keep you safe and healthy because we know that health is key. And we're doing everything we can as well to make sure that you can continue your education and graduate with your bachelor's degree and go on and live out your dreams. So I'm going to introduce myself. I have my cheat sheet here. Yat shike do shidene. Adone nishliniki burepecha. Mike Lerma yenishe. Shema Linda Lerma wilye. Aro shije Michael Lerma wilye. Nana shiche Fred Morales wilye. Nana shimasan Mary Morales wilye. Aro shinale hasti Ben Lerma wilye. Nana shinale adza Ramona Lerma wilye. Shadza Adrian Lerma wilye. Na kait ne nesigo. Nasht eje tapaha yashchin. Shal chine so tit. Sha ashki Mikey Aro Cameron Aro Bahi wilye. Nana sha at ed Alex Aro Michelle Aro Lizzie Aro Nanny wilye. Sehile de nasha. Welcome back. I always disclose that I'm a big believer in always be learning. And so I'm enrolled in Navajo 201. So if you see me in class and I'm stumbling on a word, help me out because I need help too. And if I can help you in any way, you see my phone number in the PowerPoint as well as my email. We can set up a Zoom meeting and let me know what I can do for you. And that's it for the moment. Kode.
Okay, thank you for that, Dr. Lerma. I appreciate you introducing yourself like that. It's quite an accomplishment. So I just kind of want to let you guys know, students, that there's support staff within the school. There's myself. I'm Tara Lamont Harvey, and then we have Irene Alba. I really wanted to have a picture of Irene, but she won't send me one. Just kidding. But yeah, so Irene's our admin assistant, and she's very helpful. She works a lot with the faculty and myself and Dr. Lerma. So she's just one of the people that you can also email and ask questions. She's not in the office at the moment. She's actually working from home, but you can always email her if you have questions as well. And I am the program coordinator for the School of Business and Social Science Department. And I just want to let you know that as we begin this journey, I'm your advisor throughout this whole program. I'm one of the main advisors anyway. And there are also faculty who help advise within the BA Psychology program. And we're going to talk about that. And I'll show you the contact information for those faculty here in a little bit. But I highly recommend engaging with your instructors and your faculty and finding the best fit for you if you choose to go with advising in that route. Although my job is to take care of you and make sure that you are successful during your time with us, it doesn't mean that you have to put all of your faith in me. With that being said, what I mean by that is advising goes both ways, 50-50. You need to meet me halfway by participating and always asking questions. It is the student's responsibility to learn their degree checklist and to meet all prerequisites each semester. This in turn helps to foster your own self-determination and successful completion within our program. You are always strongly encouraged to contact me at any time with any questions or concerns that you might have anyway. And I believe that every problem is solvable or at least improvable. So we must communicate openly and honestly about it. And then we have to put our heads together to brainstorm possible solutions. But I also need you to tell me if something's working, if something's not working, things like that. And I just kind of want to make things better for you within the program. But if you do have any issues or concerns that may arise during your time with us, you are more than welcome to shoot me an email and I'll do my best to address the concerns accordingly. Again, I just want to say welcome to the fall semester and let's keep this moving. Let me see. So when you're seeking advising, I'm the program coordinator, of course, and then we also have advisors who advise within Saley, Chinle, and Winter Rock. So we have Levine from the Student Success Center, Jeremiah Barber, Bruce Bradway, Bryant at City over at the Chinle branch. And then we have Shiprock and Crown Point. So Rosalind Russell is really good in the student success area. She helps advise VA students. And then in the Tuba City branch, we have Shirley Yellowhair. She also advises. And I just kind of want you to know that I follow the NACADA advising model, which is, I encourage questions, I engage students, I support critical thought, I boost spirits, I inspire dreams, and I cultivate learning. So basically, that's one of my main job duties as a program coordinator too. And so I just kind of wanted to let you guys know about that and to help you guys understand. We also have 2 new faculty members who may help advising as well, and they're going to introduce themselves here in a little bit. So the BA Psych faculty, Bruce Bradway, Jeremiah Barber, we have Christine Ami, who also helps, Marilyn Begay, Suzanne Russ are the new faculty members. We'll start with Jeremiah.
Okay. Good afternoon. Yeah, it is 12:12. Okay. So good afternoon. My name is Jeremiah Barber. Ki ani bashin ashin dasche. Hoatlan dashnala. Tana kanade na sha auto. I'm actually I guess the best way I can explain it is I was actually born in Shiprock in Mexico. So technically I'm New Mexican, but I grew up a lot in the Res Land over in Round Rock, Arizona. So initially, I'm your psych faculty in the area of psychology. I love psychology. I love studying the mind. So let's see, one hobby, I think that was asked. One hobby that I do have. Let's see. Shoot, this is a hard one. I am a big lover of rom-coms. So I do watch a lot of rom-coms, romantic comedies. That's what it is. If you don't know. So it's one of those things where I do love watching rom-coms, and that's one of my hobbies. And I try to find new, interesting rom-coms out there. But aside from that, I'm a learner just like any of you. I'm consistently trying to learn new elements here and there. Currently working on my dissertation right now in the area of I'm pretty much blending it into the area of domestic violence and looking at domestic violence on the Navajo Nation, primarily on the Navajo Nation itself. So initially looking at the 15 chapters within the Chinle Agency. So initially that's kind of what I'm wanting to delve into. So eventually, hopefully by next year or by 2 years, hopefully I'll be done. So yay. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. So nice to meet you all. Glad to meet you all. So you probably see me running around here and there. So that's me in a nutshell. I'll hand it back to you, Tara. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. I appreciate that. All right, we'll move on to Suzanne.
Hello, I think I just started my video and maybe I didn't. I'm Suzanne Russ, and I will say ya tae, and you will hear that I have a long way to go in learning Navajo, but I'm really interested in learning it. I am very grateful to be here. I'm from Wisconsin originally. That's where I got my master's and doctorate degrees, and I was a professor at Dickinson State University in North Dakota for the last decade before moving to Tucson. I really find this land down here to be beautiful, and I enjoy hiking. That's my hobby. As Jeremiah shared his, and that would be mine. I have been teaching at UA since I moved here, and conducting my research. My research is in the psychological state of surrender that leads a person to be responsive to treatment. That's my area of work. Aside from that, I think I hope to be available on Zoom during regular scheduled hours in case you're able to meet with me during those times. And I think I'm going to have a lot to learn about all of you but I'm willing to and eager to learn all that so I can be successful working with you. So that is what I'll conclude with. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so those are the faculty members. So I kind of want to let you know about the library services that are happening here at Diné College. The new library here in Saley is actually getting an upgrade or a makeover, and it's nearing completion. So there's going to be like new group study spaces and new furniture. The librarian is also available for chat services if you didn't know, but if you ever have any questions, you can always email library@dinecollege.edu. There's a curbside service that they also are, I guess, implementing. Students request the book online or through the librarian, and they will actually just like walk the book out to the parking lot. So, and there's also a very helpful page. They have a Facebook page. It's the library Facebook page called Diné College Libraries. And I would keep in check on that from time to time because they have a lot of really good resources for the students. So more about the library resources. I'm sorry?
I'm trying not to interrupt, but it's hard to do when it's all clunky. Brian King is also on the call, FYI.
Oh no, did I forget
No, it's
Brian?
fine. It's just he's there. We all have to try to keep an eye on who's here and who's not because it's difficult. So I'm just trying to help out.
Oh,
so
okay.
I hope I didn't cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Brian, did you want to introduce yourself?
I can. I'm not really psychology, but I am, overall social behavioral sciences. I'll just say a quick hello and turn on my camera so people can see what I look like. I'm history faculty. I'm over at Tuba City, and this is my 8th year here. I teach some political science as well. So happy to be here. Welcome, everybody.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move forward then. The library resources that we have online, so it kind of gives you information about academic journals and newspapers and accessing ebooks. If you have any questions, though, as always, you can email the library. They will answer the questions in a timely manner. So about fall courses this coming semester, a lot of them in our school, I can't speak for the other schools, but for our school, I know that a lot of our classes are online. And if there is a meeting time, chances are it might be a Zoom video conferencing only, but I would contact the faculty member if you have any questions. If you need Wi-Fi or a MiFi device, there's a new form that we have to fill out together and both sign in order to send it to the IT department. It's and it's also for asking, I guess, requesting for a laptop as well. If you don't have a reliable laptop, I would recommend going this route right here. But the form that we need to fill out together is called the Student Computer Equipment Request and Checkout Form. And so if you have any questions, you can email me about that if you want to request that as well. So we highly encourage the Wi-Fi spots here on campus as well as the other center campuses. And I've included a kind of a list on this PowerPoint, and I can send this PowerPoint out to you guys and let you guys know. But all of this information you can also find on the Diné College website as well. But there's a list of Wi-Fi hotspots in the parking lots that you're able to use. There are no, yep, so anything about books, I've noticed a lot of students are asking me about what books they need to purchase and things like that. I would recommend contacting your instructor just so they can help you and navigate you through that process. They usually post it on the course syllabus, and then also you can go online to the Diné College bookstore to get that taken care of. And so on campus here, if you decide to come to campus, we are following the CDC guidelines, okay, students? So you've probably heard this already before, and many other orientations are probably in your first Zoom classes, but there's a gated entrance. There's only a one-way entrance for people who are coming onto campus. Everyone is gonna be screened. They have to have their ID badges or a copy of your class schedule, and that will be checked each time you come to campus. And it's only if necessary, if you actually need to come to campus and use the Wi-Fi. Practice, listening to your body. If you don't feel good, please contact your instructors as soon as possible. Make sure to social distance yourself and limit your time talking with people on campus. Try not to, congregate too much. Wear a mask and gloves if needed, and always wash your hands as much as you can, okay, guys? If you have any questions about coming onto campus, you can also ask as well. But those are kind of in a nutshell, this is kind of what we're doing. We're just gonna keep following the CDC guidelines with that. Logging into Blackboard, I've got a lot of questions about that this past week, and I just wanted to show you guys really quickly. It's on the Students tab, or maybe it's even on your Home tab, but you have to log into your My Diné College, click on the Students tab, and then it's usually down in the quick links, you click on Blackboard. That's how you get to your school stuff as well. As you can see, you can request advising here. You can look at your grade reports, look at your financial aid awards. I highly encourage you guys to log into your net partner as much as you can to see what documents you're missing for financial aid. If you haven't done an online FAFSA application yet, I recommend that you do that as soon as possible. Okay, so the overview of the psychology program. Of course, this is a culturally based Navajo psychology BA program here at Diné College, and we follow the Diné paradigm of Nsakith, Nahata, Ina, and Sihasin. And the program combines both the Navajo and Western psychological expertise needed to promote the mental health and balance for individuals, families, and communities throughout the Navajo reservation. So this is kind of, the program prepares you also for graduate studies and obtaining employment in the workforce, and just to basically serve on the Navajo Nation, which is why there's Navajo language courses built into the program as well, things like that. And so just kind of giving you a brief overview. The 4 stages, we have of course, the thinking, conceptualizing, and then the planning and the gathering information. So, and then the living and achieving portion of this, and the evaluation and competency. So everything is kind of built into the program in that way. So years 1 and 2, we have the introduction to social and behavioral sciences and developing the ideas about psychology and things like that, those classes that pertain to the degree program. And then years 3 and 4, you're gathering knowledge and information about the Navajo and Western psychology perspectives, and then you're also implementing that into the research. And so that's kind of how the BA psychology program is. And let's see. So there are a few recent changes to the checklist this coming semester. I just want you guys to know that. It doesn't pertain to students this is only for new students, because the newer students have to follow this new degree checklist now. The ones who've been in the program for over 2 years now, you stick to that same checklist. But basically there's a few more classes in the 300 level areas of psychology. And then we also are kind of moving towards the counseling type of degree. I believe that Dr. Bradway kind of wants to really implement a counseling degree in that area. And then they actually took out 1 less Navajo language class in this new checklist. And then it's still research-based, so you still have to take those research courses. And then we also changed the name, Psych 497. It used to be something different. Now it's called Advanced Readings in Psychology. So that's pretty much it, the changes that kind of happened over the past year. Dr. Larimer, do you want to add anything to this slide?
What we're trying to create and build for psychology as a as a function of Diné College is to create an educational process that serves the Navajo citizens. And so that's the reason that we're trying to push for the counseling aspect, recognizing that the world, the United States, and the Navajo Nation itself, we face a lot of crises, and a lot of it has to do with our psychological state of mind. And so I've really encouraged the psychology faculty to identify for me what they think the most pressing problems are of Navajo citizens. And then we try to operate so that the graduates are trained to begin addressing those challenges that are faced within the Sacred Mountains. And just full disclosure, you psychology students are going to be better trained at psychology than I am, because I've only ever taken one class in psychology. I always leave it to the experts that we hired here as faculty. So I'm really fortunate to be surrounded by these experts that understand the challenges that we face and the challenges that you as a psychology student and graduate will face when you hit the job market or when you go to grad school. So any kind of feedback you might have for us that we can utilize to build an even better program, I'm all ears.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's keep on moving along. So this is a list of all the psych classes that we have within the program. The ones that are highlighted in the dark red, those are the newer classes that were added to the program that students can take within the new checklist, the 2020-21 checklist. It's Psych 301, Human Sexuality, Psych 310, Educational Psychology, and then also Psych 392, which should be adding to the schedule probably in spring, Counseling Theories and Techniques. So those are just some of the new classes, and I just kind of wanted to list that and show you guys again. And then we have, okay, so moving on. So that was a little bit about the programs. And right now, these are the student expectations per the student handbook. And I wanted to go over this with you guys, but let's begin. Complete all necessary assignments, labs, examinations in a timely manner. So that's expected of our students within the program. We also expect that you meet with faculty and/or academic advisors on a daily basis. Please preserve the principles of academic integrity and also comply with classroom management policies as stated in the course syllabus. So take a look at your course syllabus, make sure that you understand everything that's going on in the class for this coming fall semester. Also respect other people's right to a reasonable degree of privacy and to not threaten nor contribute to the breakdown of a safe and secure environment. So that one's very important. You know, we all want to be here on campus. We all want to be safe. And so we just ask that you please create that safe and secure environment for other students, staff, and faculty as well. So another item that we will be talking about today is the plagiarism. And Dr. Lerma is actually going to be talking about this a little bit.
Yeah, before we go into all this, I just need students to understand the serious ramifications for plagiarism. It isn't something that is just confined to Diné College. It's a reputation, and it can be a career killer. In a previous life, I was a journalist, a student journalist. And if you're not aware, when a journalist fabricates any kind of documentation, interview, statement in an article, it can kill a career. And there are plenty of journalists that are in that situation. And academically, if you choose to go on to grad school, any kind of evidence of a plagiaristic act on your behalf that are attributable to you through empirical evidence, that can stop everything. And so you have to be very careful about understanding what it means to paraphrase, which means I'm going to take a statement and I'm going to put it in my words. So always be paraphrasing. That's the key to keep yourself out of trouble. Number two, if you are going to quote a document that has been published and is attributable to another author, always cite, always cite, always cite. If you're having questions about, should I put the citation here, just do it. Just say yes, just do it. And so I also want to demystify a little bit about what the faculty do and how they operate. So I wanted to share with you this interface that I have up on the monitor is the back end of bblearn. And faculty will, and so you won't, as a student, you won't have access to this, but when you send your document to your professor for analysis, or when you upload it to bblearn, it goes through a safe assign. And so I'm showing you. Sometimes they'll get to it in this fashion where it says safe assign items. For me, if I get a document, I'll just go to direct submit and I'll pull it up. And you'll see I can pick on somebody here that came up with a 62% match. When I teach a class, I don't know what the other faculty will do, but when I teach a class, if I see that, that's a red flag, and I'll pull down the report. And if I see this from a faculty member, I'll just shoot it over to you. And I'll say, you know, here's a problem that we have and we need to address it. I actually pulled up the wrong thing. So here, the report that I actually was going to show you. This shows all of the links. There's 58% that's tied to a database. There's 4% that's tied to the internet. And there's 2% that's tied to a global database. All faculty have access to this document. They have access to this analysis. So it's not worth it. That's the bottom line. You can do all this work to try and get away with it if you have ill intent. You're probably better off putting that energy into writing the paper. There are times where we make mistakes, people make mistakes, and you need to talk to your faculty about that situation and find out if there is something that can be done to rectify a situation so that you don't end up paying the cost of being caught plagiarizing an assignment and having it follow you for potentially the rest of your career. So please, please, please reach out to your faculty. They are here to help you, keep you out of trouble, teach you the proper way to carry out research so that you can be a place of, a point of pride for the faculty and myself and everybody here that works at Gwinnett College. We all want you to succeed. We want you to be the best. So, and again, if you have questions for me about this, you can always shoot me an email. I'm happy to respond. And that's all.
So that's a little bit about plagiarism and what Dr. Larmer wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again. Did any of the faculty members want to say anything in regards to plagiarism? If not, we will move forward.
I'll say something.
Okay, go ahead, Jeremiah.
So this is Jeremiah Barber, or Mr. Barber, as it's noted in my syllabus. So one of the things, if you notice, and I do go over that with my students a lot in terms of plagiarism and everything else, and I'm a big stickler on, and it is noted in a lot of their syllabus in terms of submitting papers that they'll try to pass off. In other words, recycling papers. So initially, if you recycle a paper, I will call you on it in terms of, I will send you an email, and I think it is stated in my syllabus in terms of the process and everything else. You'll have a 24-hour time period to resubmit. And again, this is only for the due dates. These are for major assignments and everything else. And one of the big things is, and I come from working in the field, and one of the biggest things is if you do actually plagiarize a paper, you can be held liable for that. And I think that's one of the biggest things is I don't want students to feel intimidated by that, but also I think a lot of my former students kind of know that I consistently call them on in-text citation and making sure that if you have an in-text citation, make sure you have a reference. And it's one of those things where it's two peas in a pod, they go hand in hand. And this also goes for a lot of my discussion assignments. I know I'm probably one of the faculty that kind of consistently, even this is just discussion assignments, I'll still have them make sure that when they're defending an opinion, or if they have an opinion, to make sure that they have a supported source. And when they put that supported source in there, to make sure that they have the in-text citation. And it's just one of those things where working with the community and working with the Navajo community, a lot of times we look at it in terms of, why do we need to have this? Why do we need to have this support? And the real reason is a lot of our Diné relatives actually want to know where that research is coming from. They want to know where your perspective is coming from. A lot of times, they come from the outlook of, that's only a Western outlook, which is true, yes. But at the same time, if they know where that source is primarily coming from, you're going to have a better chance of defending your argument versus simply saying, I'm Diné and that's it. It's like, well, and I think that's what I always go over. That is listed in a lot of my syllabus in terms of, don't just simply say I'm Diné and just leave it at that. So you have to have more additional elements to kind of support your statements and everything else. So it's kind of just my spiel on plagiarism. And if you do it, I will call you on it. And it's one of the things where I think it's so important, it's so crucial. But again, if you have any questions, and that's what I've always tried to reiterate in a lot of my syllabi, or my syllabus, is contact me. You have my direct number, literally, and just let me know what things you're being troubled with. If you're taking a lot of my courses, and just let me know, so I'll try to demystify and try to make sure that you're on the right track versus simply stumbling down a rabbit hole and feeling like you can't crawl your way out. That's one of the biggest things I'm always looking at, is ensuring that you succeed, because one, I'm getting old. And I want you guys and I want each of you that are going to the area of psychology or counseling to, at some point, take over where initially a lot of us that are getting old, initially you'll take over from there. And I think that's one of the biggest things in working with the community. There is a huge need for counselors, and I cannot stress that enough. So that's kind of my outlook. And again, if you have any questions, you know how to contact me. So that's my spiel.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. All right, we're gonna move on then. So tips for taking online courses this fall semester. You've probably heard this many times already, but I just kind of want to remind you guys and say it over again so you get it into your system. But number one, treat studying like it's a job. Find time, make time to study, to do your papers, to your research, whatever it is you need to do. Find a good planner, write all those deadlines in there. Make sure, because these are online courses, they should have assignments that are already pre-planned ahead of time, and you should be able to write these deadlines into your planners and make sure that you make time to submit your assignments on time. Manage your time carefully. When I say this, I mean that if you have an exam coming up in the future and it's coming up, please plan ahead. Plan ahead. Study for those exams. Make sure that you find sufficient internet. If you have to go to one of the campuses to stream through the internet and use the internet at the hotspots, then I would plan ahead of time to do that. And then find a quiet space to study. As always, I know we all live in a time where our family's around. So, but finding that quiet space to study is very, very important. Also, eliminate all those distractions when you're studying as well. Everybody likes to be on FaceTime, on social medias and things like that. Just put that away and just focus solely on your studying times and your assignments. Take breaks in between as well, because you don't want to just continue without taking any breaks. You need to get up, stretch, stand, walk around, whatever, drink some water. which also leads me into number 7, stay healthy, eat healthy food, exercise, meditate if you have to, things like that, just kind of keep yourself healthy. And number 8, connect with others. During this time when we're all kind of away from our family members outside of our household, it's good to call them or FaceTime with them or any kind of video conferencing, just to kind of talk to them and see how they're doing. It's always good to connect with others. I know I like connecting with my family members. I miss my sisters tremendously, but they're over there and we just FaceTime each other when we need to. Join a study team. Number 9 is join a study team. Like, if you can make friends in your classrooms, I would, that is like the best thing, because if you have to miss a day of class or something, then, you ask them, like, did you take notes, things like that. That's how you build. It's really good to build those connections and to make healthy friendships with your with your classmates. So, and then also number 10, always ask questions. If you have any questions, ask your faculty members, ask students, maybe even ask, the advisors that you're working with. And then don't forget to reward yourself during this time. And anytime you finish a huge assignment or something, be proud of that, tap yourself on the back and, celebrate with small victories, whatever it is you want to do to celebrate, that's really up to you. But this is just a little bit of tips, and I just wanted to remind you again before the semester begins. So I've been getting a lot of requests for letter of recommendations, and I ask that you please ask me 7 to 10 days ahead of time, and only if it's for scholarship and internship purposes, because if you're asking for, if you're applying for a full-time job, please ask someone who knows your work ethic, like your instructors or your past colleagues or your former employees. Or your current employers, you could also do that as well, because they would know if you're on time, if you meet deadlines, if you ask questions, where your interpersonal skills are, things like that. And if you can follow directions, so they would know more about that kind of work ethic for you. This is just a friendly reminder, ask me 7 to 10 business days ahead of time. I would really appreciate that.
Hey, Tara, as well.
Yeah.
Some of the faculty might need 30 days, and I don't want to speak for the faculty, but I have taught classes in the past, and I've always.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was a standard when I was going to school too. I had to request letters 30 days in advance from my faculty that mentored me. So just the more time you can offer to a faculty, very much likely it will improve the quality of the letter you're going to get back. So students, just keep that in mind.
Exactly. If we're rushed to write this letter of recommendation, it's not going to be, as solid and as awesome as we would like to write it. So, like Dr. Lerma said, maybe ask the sooner the better, just as soon as possible. Not the day before that you have to turn it in. Okay. All right, moving on, guys. So treat your faculty like supervisors. This is just a few tips that I just want to share with you guys. Be respectful to even your faculty members and your fellow colleagues or your students that are in the class as well. Have a good attitude when approaching any situation. Be on time always. Be careful how you communicate. Meet all deadlines as necessary. Ask questions for clarity. Follow directions, but always ask questions. If you make a mistake, please correct them. Don't lie, don't plagiarize your assignments, and always cite your sources again. Don't gossip about your classmates. Offer assistance to your classmates when possible. And then if you're sending an email to faculty members or anything like that, just allow them 24 hours to answer your emails, because I know a lot of them get swamped with emails and they're teaching over 100 students each semester. So that's just a courtesy and something to think about when we're engaging with our faculty. Okay, so this is the end of the orientation for fall psychology students. If you have any questions, please let us know. We are here, and I'll include all of the contact information should have been included in the PowerPoint today. If you want to unmute yourself, you can also ask questions here, but if not, we will end the presentation soon.
You do a countdown.
Oh, hey everybody, this is Christine Omni. I don't know if you guys did introductions already. Sorry, I am joining you guys from home, so it's a little noisy back here. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I teach the ethnographic methods class and the Psych 413 class online. So I'm really excited to get these classes up and running. I know that I took a look at the participants, so I know that there's a lot of you guys that are joining us today. And I just look forward to the online format. It's a new format for many of us. And if you guys have any suggestions, be sure that you just communicate openly and freely. And not that saying that we can meet all of your suggestions, but anything that we can do to help the class go by as fun and as productive as possible. At least I know that I'm open up to it. So thanks, guys. It's nice to meet you guys. Sorry I had to jump on a little bit late, but have a great semester.
Thank you, Dr. Ami. We appreciate that. All right, guys, if you don't have any other questions, I'm closing it out now. You guys have a good semester. Email us if you have questions.